First event, truck pull. So, I didn't train this once. I planned on training it twice. The dumbbell to the head ended my prep a little bit early. Unfortunately, I did miss out on the truck pull stimulus. I would have trained it a couple times earlier as well. I did have a decent reason. The one time I did a truck pull back, I trained every fucking week. I pulled a different kind of sled, whether it was fast, heavy, high volume. I trained my balls off for that. And I remember thinking, wow, this feels absolutely nothing like what I trained. The way that I was fatigued and the things that were hit felt nothing like any of the setups that I did in training. Fucking forearms were burnt, my lungs were burnt. I still felt underprepared, so my approach in this one was I always just blew my fucking lungs out, blew my back out, and blew my hands out, and then I went into yoke and farmers training. I was just gonna wing it on that. I would have done that same exact approach, except I would have put my hands on a rope and pulled a sled maybe one or two times early on in training. Got in the field for the forward lean. How it ended up playing out, my technique was not that bad, but you can tell that I'm pretty fucking new at it. I'm supposed to like fall into it here, like I kind of did, but I never actually fell. It was supposed to be hips in and then fall. You can see my feet are like straight down, and I'm having a wide stance where rather this should be pretty much a straight line, and my feet should be narrower, and I do believe I should just be moving them faster. First time pulling a truck like this, whatever. I think I ended up like second to last on this. There was a like uphill portion of the course where pretty much 80% of us got caught, and it was like a fucking inch difference between everybody right in that little window. I think there were two or three that completely finished, and the uphill thing didn't even phase them, which was super fucking impressive. So next up was the dumbbell. This was obviously, if you followed any of my training, this was my favorite event to train for. This is something that I just really have fun with. Wanted to press 240 for reps in contests. That was the main goal. I didn't treat it like an AMRAP. I treated the whole prep like I was training for a 2 to 3 rep max. Because when you look at these predetermined weights for a strongman, you got to be a little bit reasonable. Like, yes, the event is as many reps as you can in 60 seconds. It's kind of unreasonable to think I'm just going to go in there and hit it for fucking, throw it around and might get 4 or 5. So treating it like an AMRAP was never in my mind. And the 1 week that I actually tried to treat it like an AMRAP, I started dropping reps, and it was kind of a shitty week. So I trained singles, doubles, and triples on this. I trained pretty much all singles all the way up until 5 weeks out, and then I just hit pretty much singles, doubles, and triples and just tried to linear work up. I don't know that I'd change anything. I might have practiced the front swing technique a little bit more with that 3-inch handle, but I'm pretty happy. I'm really happy with how I did. Would not have given myself the second rep, but that judge started to give the down command, and I saw that, so I dropped it. He shouldn't have started to give me the down command, that's all, but that's just whatever. I thank the judge. He did a good job. I'm not bashing anybody. Just I'm taking that rep because by the standards of this judging, he gave it to me. But in my own standards, if I were to look at this, I'm not going to give myself a down command. Just one more split second of control, but it was close. This went to fucking shit for me, so I'm not making excuses, but it was unfortunate because my 2 heaviest sessions that I had planned were immediately after I fucking busted my head open on that dumbbell, and after that happened, it just wasn't happening. And so this was 800 pounds. I didn't go above 700 pounds in training. Like 4 years ago when I was competing, I've done 800 pounds. I think I've gone up to about 900 pounds for 50 feet. Max effort, but the main thing with this is my CNS was not ready for that much weight, and if I were to go back and train this differently, I would have had some just truly heavy days earlier on in prep, so that I had touched some maximal weight going into it. Um, However, the reason I didn't was because I was aiding this whole knee thing. And so I knew that there was a good chance I might take a hit on this and that my progression had to be absolutely perfect. Um, but it is what it is. And honestly, this is still a huge fucking PR. The only time I've had 800-pound yoke in competition was for the 160 foot length, and I wasn't able to finish. And so I finished two lengths along with the farmers. So competition and training, that is a massive fucking PR for me. So I'll take it. This was a really fucking cool event. I felt like this combined spectacle, proficiency, speed, strength, and endurance extremely well. These are both about 55 pound bags that I'm throwing over a 15-foot height. This is a 300-pound bag. This is a 350 bag. So those are all very heavy weights combined, and you have to be quick through it. Two different techniques. Really fucking enjoyed it, and I hope we get to see more stuff like this. The reason it wasn't so shitty is because those carries were short. If those carries were just like 50 feet, like that would have fucking sucked if we had to go into the second throw just completely destroyed. But I thought the way they did the distance and the weights on all of this was just pretty fucking spot on. And I think it was, funny enough, I think it was Saul who came up with this event. So hats off to Saul for this fucking cool event. I fucking nailed it. I wouldn't have done anything different in training. I know that because I fucking nailed it. And I knew that in training. Kind of how I approached it was I trained the two things separately. I really had to get my throwing technique up to par. So just drilling and practicing that technique over and over and over again, like learning a very new skill, was something that was very fun for me. And then sandbag carries is something I'm already really good at. So I didn't even start touching sandbags until 7 or 8 weeks out. And then I only touched a 300-pound bag once or twice. And then I was ready to go. So, and I made sure that every time I touched sandbags, I only trained this event under fatigue with perfect technique. It worked out really well in my favor. This was a heavy-ass deadlift, and I completely fucking, like, misunderstood the cues. When everyone was telling me, like, yeah, think of this like a leg press, I was thinking of it like how I had been training leg press, not how they had been training leg press, which was more of the wider stance, high up on the platform, heavier on the hinge, and I was just trying to fucking press it out with my quads. Regardless, this was heavy as fuck. I would have maybe squeezed out 2 or 3 more reps if I would have done it the right way, which still I would have got my fucking ass whipped because I think like 16 or 17 won it, and there were several over 10 reps, so, and they were my own cues. Fucking stupid. Definitely had to be a deadlift PR of some kind, though. This was really heavy. You can see I was just like all quads. At least I know my knee is healthy, though, right? Get fucked, son. Alright, this one was disappointing. I wanted to fucking go after that stone to shoulder. I came in prepped. I came in ready. That was one that I hadn't been shown much of my training. We did 300, 325, 350 to shoulder in a series because it was raining. As you can see, it's just all so wet around. Again, no excuses. Look at how floppy this bag is. It's 350. It was filled with lead shot. I had a gut feeling to grab it from the side and do a separate technique on it. I was going to do the first 2 long, grab the second one side, and kind of, roll it up in that side technique. But I doubted myself. I said, do what you've practiced. All the lead shot fell out to the bottom, and I just couldn't fucking handle it. So that was my own fault. I knew what I needed to do. I knew I should have done it. I should have pulled the trigger. lesson learned. Next time I'm going to pull the fucking trigger. And I'm going to shoulder that cunt. All right. 9th place out of 13 at my first pro show. Thanks for watching, guys. That was part 2 on the Rainier thing. Classic meat recap.